This is TechCrunch. Founders Fund has made its name backing what Peter Thiel calls 0 to 1 companies, businesses that don't just improve on existing ideas but create something entirely new. Its portfolio has included Facebook, SpaceX, and Palantir. Its latest bet is a New Zealand startup that puts solar-powered smart collars on cows. Halter, which closed a $220 million Series E at a $2 billion valuation last month, with Founders Fund leading the round, is not the kind of company that tends to dominate tech headlines. There is no agentic AI involved, no humanoid robots. There is, however, a very large and largely unsolved problem. How do you manage cattle spread across some of the most remote terrain on Earth without dogs, horses, motorbikes, or helicopters? Craig Piggott, Halter's 30-year-old founder and CEO, has spent 9 years working on an answer. He said, if you manage a pasture-based farm, whether it's dairy or beef, the most important variable is how you manage the productivity of your land. Fences are the lever. They control where animals graze and how you rest the land. Being able to do that virtually just made a lot of sense. The system Halter has built combines a solar-powered collar, a network of low-frequency towers, and a smartphone app to let farmers create virtual fences, monitor every animal around the clock, and move their herds without ever leaving the farmhouse. Now, cattle are trained to respond to audio and vibration cues from the collar, a process Piggott likens to the way a car beeps as it approaches a wall while parking. Most animals, he says, learn within 3 interactions with a virtual fence. Then you're able to guide them and shift them around on sound and vibration alone. The collar does more than herd. Because it is always on and collecting behavioral data, it also tracks animal health, monitors fertility cycles, and flags when individual animals may be sick, capabilities that Piggott says have improved dramatically as Halter has accumulated what is likely the world's largest data set of cattle behavior. The company is now on its 5th generation of hardware, and its reproduction product is currently in beta with U.S. customers. Piggott said that the product that ranchers use today is radically different to what they bought a year ago. Every week, we are releasing new things to our customers. Now, Piggott grew up on a dairy farm in New Zealand before studying engineering and then landing a brief stint at Rocket Lab, the rocket company that gave him his first glimpse of what a technology startup could be. He said, Rocket Lab was kind of my introduction to technology and startups and the world of venture capital. Realizing you could raise money, hire a team, and chase an ambitious mission was inspiring. I wanted to do that in agriculture. He started Halter at the age of 21, saying he was probably a bit naive in hindsight, but, that was fine. 9 years later, Halter's collar is on more than 1 million cattle across more than 2,000 farms in New Zealand, Australia, and here in the U.S., where the company operates in 22 states. The financial proposition for farmers is straightforward. By giving ranchers precise control over where their herds graze, Halter can lift the productivity of their land by as much as 20%, not by saving labor costs, though that happens as well, but by ensuring that cattle graze more efficiently and leave less grass behind. He said, in some cases we see customers literally doubling the output off their land. The upper ceiling for returns is very, very strong. Now, Halter is not alone in spying the opportunity. Pharmaceutical giant Merck already makes its own virtual fencing system for cattle called Vents, and newer entrants are circling as well. At Y Combinator's most recent demo day, a startup called GrazeMate presented a vision for herding cattle with autonomous drones. No collars necessary. Piggott seems unbothered by either. Asked about drones, he answers, can I see drones playing some small part in the future? Probably. But I don't think a drone is the right form factor for the core fencing element of virtual fencing. A collar will probably be the right form factor for a very long period of time. And as for the bigger competitive picture, he argues the real obstacle is not rival technology at all. He said the biggest competition is just not changing anything. It's doing what you did last year. What sets Halter apart, Piggott argues, is the sheer engineering difficulty of what it has spent 9 years solving. A system managing 1,000 animals needs to be reliable to many nines of uptime because even a 1% failure rate means 10 animals out at any given time. Chasing those many nines of reliability takes time, he said, and that long tail is what we proved out in New Zealand over many years before we started to expand globally. Now, Halter is also something of an outlier in the agricultural technology sector, which has slumped in recent years as startups have struggled to persuade farmers to adopt new products while managing high operational costs. Piggott attributes Halter's traction to its relentless focus on financial return. From day one, Halter has been built around a really strong financial return on investment, he said. If you can lift the productivity of land by 20%, that flows through the entire business. Unlike most tech companies, Halter doesn't view the U.S. as the center of its universe. He said, the U.S. market is important for us, but it's not the world's biggest market. Agriculture is spread around the world, and we need to get there too. The company has now raised roughly $400 million in total and is prioritizing expansion across the U.S., South America, and Europe. But the scale of the remaining opportunity is perhaps best captured in a single number, one that no doubt resonated with Founders Fund and Halter's earlier backers as well. Halter's collar is on 1 million cattle, while there are 1 billion more in the world. With less than 10% penetration in its home market of New Zealand alone, Piggott said, we have a long way to go and a lot of product still to build. Anthropic has purchased the stealth biotech AI startup Coeffici Bio in a $400 million stock deal, according to the Information and Eric Newcomer. Sources close to the deal confirmed to TechCrunch that it did close, though declined to comment on the amount. The deal comes as Anthropic continues its push into healthcare and life sciences following its October announcement of Claude for Life Sciences, a tool that aims to help scientific researchers make discoveries. Coeffici Bio's founders, Samuel Stanton and Nathan Fry, launched the startup 8 months ago, having both worked in computational drug discovery at Genentech's Prescient Design. Coeffici Bio was using AI to help make drug discovery and other forms of biological research more efficient. The team, consisting of around 10 people, is expected to join Anthropic's health and life science team. That's all for now. You can find more stories like these at TechCrunch.com.